I wish I could say I spent my childhood playing piano ever since I was 4, but I spent my childhood playing too much PlayStation. When I was growing up as a little kid, I really loved, because I love video games a lot, I loved the music a lot as well. While everybody was listening to We Will Rock You, I was listening to the, Those Who Fight Further from FF7. As a nerd, that sounded like as heavy and rock and incredible as the music from Queen or something, I know from experience that there must be lots of people like I was when I was little who really enjoy this kind of music, who don't really want to listen to Adele, complaining about her ex-boyfriend. They maybe just want to listen to like some epic orchestral music from Final Fantasy. And they don't show that to other people because they feel that they wouldn't understand and they would judge them. So what I'm trying to do with my channel and my Twitter and my personality online is to get in touch with all these people who are like I was when I was little and telling them, hey, video game music is actually freaking cool. Let me show you why, let me show you how, let me remix it so you can understand the value that is hidden inside these, beautiful soundtracks. But one day I made a video where I broke down the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers main theme, and I explained from the perspective of a music producer why that track is cool.
Those freaking drums, man.
I started because I wanted people to notice how video game music is cool. So making a video like that where I react to video game music and I explain how it works and why it's cool might be a nice idea. They were really blown away by the details that I showed in the video.
Like what you're hearing now is home riding home. It's like, I think it gives me the same God of War vibes that when you hear the God of War main theme from PS4, it kind of makes you grow a beard and makes your testosterone levels go to the roof, through the roof, because the leading melody in God of War is sang by a full male choir that goes to like super low notes. And they are singing in a way that's called marcato, where you're not singing like softly, like, riding home, but you're singing, riding home. It's like screaming on top of your lungs.
Very few people notice exactly why a certain part sounds awesome. In the Shadowbringers main theme, at the end of the song, the choir essentially does a change in the melody, let's say, that turns the track from being incredibly dark to being incredibly hopeful and, full of light. And that kind of represents the story of Final Fantasy XIV itself. Lots of people commented like, oh my god, I never realized, and it's so cool. I'm like, wow, there's so many more amazing things in video game music that people should know. I was talking about To The Edge from Final Fantasy XIV, and it's a rock track that is pretty awesome, but it's also kind of funky. In the video I told that, and then I showed what I meant by making a funky remix of The Edge. Square Enix and Masayoshi Soken, the composer of Final Fantasy XIV, shared it, and they really loved it, and incredible things started to happen. So I once again witnessed what happens when you get people to really notice the potential of video game music. They lose their shit. When you play a game and you don't notice the music, sometimes it's the sign that the music is very good. It's a sign that the music is so good, in fact, that it becomes part of the experience in a subliminal way because it matches the context of the video game, the characters, what's happening on the screen perfectly. So it doesn't really take you away like, oh wow, these notes are amazing. You just feel everything. And I can think of a game like that, Cyberpunk 2077. The music there can be quite subtle, but sometimes, like while playing the game, in some scenes I started feeling very intense emotions and I didn't understand why. And then after, 2-3 minutes, I realized, damn, the music is incredibly sad. And I didn't even realize when it started, Sometimes I make videos about music that I haven't, of games I haven't played, and I try to guess the story. And sometimes I manage to do it. And that just shows how good the composers are. If they're able to make you understand the context of the game, which you haven't played, simply with notes. I see bass as the tank of the group. So the tank is kind of leading and taking responsibility to for the group to go through the dungeon and kill the monsters and stuff. But he's not shining. He's not the kick-ass dragoon, doing all the stylish moves. He's just the guy tanking. And that's how I see bass. I see bass as the foundation for the music. But then what's on top of the bass is what is gonna steal the show. I made a funky cover or a funky remix of the Me channel theme. And then I invited pretty much the internet to take part in it and just jam over it. I decided to put them all together into a mix of 2.5 minutes, and I made them match and sync them and stuff like that. And it felt like a jam session by 30 different musicians in 2.5 minutes. And every time I listen to that or watch the video, I start dancing, I start smiling. It has the biggest power. I asked everybody to send me their audio files of their instrument alone, without me or without anything, and their video. I essentially copy-pasted my bass and drums part like many times over, and I was like, okay, what can I put here? Oh, I can put this 5 seconds of Husky by the Geek's guitar, followed by this other 4 seconds of Richard DB's guitar solo, and then I'm gonna add the vocals from that girl. And so I cut pieces and corners and stuff of everyone's performance and glued them in interesting ways. It was very surprising to fit 30 solos into 2.5 minutes, but that happened. One thing that is very dear to me is the idea of helping people who are doing great music stand out a bit more. I see this a lot. Like, I have nothing against popular mainstream artists like Billie Eilish. I think she's great. She's amazing. I also think there's loads of people who are insanely talented like her who don't get any attention. In my own way, I try to bring that forward. Sometimes I try to make posts to tell people, hey, check out these artists or whatever. But this Me channel jam was really a good way to do that to the ultimate level, because I know people are gonna watch my funky covers because I've seen that lots of people love them. And I thought, hey, it would be very nice if I shared that spotlight with other people, especially people who don't get as much attention. And that was another driving factor of the Me channel jam for me. I really wanted to give a bit of that attention to people who deserve it.
I mean, it's a minor version of Gusty Gardens with Cleric Beast sort of thing. But what does this sound like when glued together?